So I got the police reports of the bogus arrest of Robert and Melanie Jones for chalking on a public sidewalk in front of a police officer's house. Officer Caden Line, who had earlier that day, technically just after midnight, arrested their daughter and charged her with something she didn't do, in which he had no evidence for, in which he was not a witness to. But they charged Robert with felony intimidating a witness as if he was a witness in that case, and felony first-degree stalking, and then charged his wife with aiding and abetting those two things, which she just went with him and filmed it. It's all absolutely ridiculous. I posted the videos of those, so now we have the reports and the videos, and we can compare the two and see the BS in the police report. But I didn't get these through the lawsuit, which I'm still in the middle of the lawsuit because this has been handled very bad by the Nampa police. They denied it unlawfully. Then I filed the lawsuit, go to the district court with Judge Gabriel McCarthy. They tried to give me Judge, what's his name from the Ammon Bundy case? Brent Whiting. But I got him disqualified quickly and got Gabriel McCarthy, who just didn't even expect the state to show cause. He doesn't know he acts like he doesn't know the law. He's just like, oh, there's a pending case related to these records, so you can't have them until that's over. That's just the way it is. Like, but that's not what the law says. If you read the law, it's obviously doesn't show that all investigatory records on an active case are automatically exempt from disclosure. That's opposite of what the law does. It has a whole list of exemptions, and the ones they claim is that it would interfere with enforcement proceedings or deprive Robert and Melanie a right to the fair trial, which is totally baloney. So I'm going to post these reports, and we'll see if it deprives Robert and Melanie, because they're so concerned about their rights, aren't they? And then we'll see if they interfere with enforcement proceedings, which they're not. This trial and these proceedings ought to be just dismissed because they're absolutely ridiculous, which there is going to be a motion to dismiss hearing on June 5th at 9 a.m. So please attend that if you can. It's in Idaho and Canyon County in Caldwell at the courthouse. And then their jury trial for this is June 16th, 8:30. So that's what's on the schedule right now. But yeah, this lawsuit, I went to the Supreme Court yesterday. Oh yeah, so Judge McCarthy just denied it unlawfully. Didn't even look at the records like he was supposed to. He didn't follow the law at all. So I appealed it to the Supreme Court. But the Supreme Court is the supreme thorny thicket, and they're using the thorns are the procedures. So they're using the procedures to just stupid little procedural things to just drag it on and on. And they will not. This is the second time I've printed out, a bunch of pages, spent money to print all these and taken them down, drove down to downtown Boise to turn them into the clerk there, and they will not take it because of this clerk's record thing. They're like, oh, we have to have the official clerk's record with their new pages, which all the stuff I filed, I had page numbers on, and I reference them. So it's easy for them to see it, but oh no, they want that court to make a new record with everything on it, with those page numbers, and then you have to refer to those pages. If you ever refer to those, you have to use those page numbers. So I was like, okay. So then I went and waited till I got the clerk's record, which they gave me. The district court gave me those through an email, and then I went and redid the appeal brief, including those. And then yesterday I went and tried to turn it in again, and they still said, wait, we didn't get the clerk's record yet. Like, how is it that I got it and the other party got it, but the court didn't get it? So I don't know. There's some baloney going on. And then she had some formatting stuff. She showed me an example. This is how we like to see it. So go ahead and change it to this and this, which when I did it, I just looked at the court rules and did what it said. But I guess they like it at least this lady likes it a certain way to look. So I kind of rearranged some things, which, they want the table of contents, a whole page just for the table of contents, a whole page just for the table of authorities, which I don't know, makes sense, but it's not a big deal. But doing that, then I had to go change all the page numbers again, because every time I cite a statute or case law, you have to put it in the table of contents or the table of authorities. And so now when you move stuff around, it goes to a different page, and so you have to go through it all, write new page numbers. But it doesn't really matter. So they're just like making me do more work. They like to waste my time, make me jump hoops, and just delay this more. But it's a simple case. Obviously, the Napa custodian, Tanya King, and Judge McCarthy unlawfully denied these because all they can say is that there's an investigation. Like, who cares? There's a case going on. Who cares? That's not what the law doesn't exempt records based on that. You have to show cause why the disclosure of these records would interfere with that. That's what the law says, which they didn't even try to do. So the Supreme Court should look at this easy case. Give Garth the records. Give him money for his costs, filing fees, and pay the $1,000 additional penalty for unlawful bad faith denial of his records. Unlawful denial of public records should be a criminal offense. It is serious to break the transparency law and damage the trust of the people and do shady stuff behind their back that they're paying you for, but it's actually working against them, where there should be some real consequences, because even the full penalty is $1,000 to be paid into the general fund. So it's just moving from one tax fund to another. There's no actual accountability on the bad officers who unlawfully in bad faith denied public records. There should be some consequence for them for doing that. The law's there. They should know the law and apply it to the situation. It's not that hard. All right, so I'm going to go through these police reports and the video a little bit. So there's several officers that give a narrative on here. The second page, 2 of 15, shows there's demeanor, physical or personal demeanor threatening. Suspect armed with a handgun, which we're allowed to open carry here in Idaho. I guess we should be in the whole United States because of the Second Amendment, but who cares what the law says, huh? The supreme law, whatever. All right, so here's Caden's report. On December 6th, at approximately 18:09 hours, I received a call from my wife, Heidi Line, on my department-issued work cell phone. I was on duty at this time and working a patrol shift. I noticed she had called my personal phone first, but I chose to ignore it. I'm going to skip over some of this. Before she gave me detail, I started looking at the map to see if any police units were close to my home. I was near the intersection of 11th Avenue South and 3rd Street South, and I saw that I was likely the nearest available unit to respond. I started to drive my patrol vehicle towards my house. While driving to my house, she started to provide details as to what was going on. In summary, she stated that she just arrived home at 704 Altura Street, Napa, Idaho, in her car, and as she pulled into the driveway, she noticed someone graffitied our driveway, which you can see they wrote chalk on the sidewalk in front of their driveway. Not even on their driveway. Just prior to her getting home, her dad called and said someone was shining a strobe light into our house's front windows. When she parked in the driveway and got out of her car, an adult male, completely unknown to her, drove up next to our house. He described the vehicle as an older suburban type of car, white and blue, with a loud engine, which it's not like a unusually loud engine, probably a more quiet engine. But they just accentuate any little thing they can to make it seem scary, I guess. 6 feet, white, with a mustache. She stated the male said something to the effect of, "Hey Heidi, tell your husband to stay away from my daughter. I'll be back." Because there was a mention of someone shining lights into our house, graffiti on our sidewalk, directly in front of our driveway. She did not recognize this male. The male knew her by name, instructed her to tell me to stay away from his daughter, and said, "I'll be back." Based on her description of the male and the statement he made, I told her I had a strong suspicion as to what this was about. Yeah, he knows what it's about. I explained to her that last night, technically 12/6, but just after midnight, I arrested a female for a warrant that she had, which he got filed against her. Having just dealt with the warrant that she had, warrant arrest, I had a fresh recollection about some of the facts of that case. What facts? In summary, I just took a report for a graffiti case back in August of 2024 involving Catherine Jones as the suspect. I attempted contact with Catherine Jones at her listed address in an effort to interview her, but was met by her parents at the front door. Her parents were identified as Robert Jones and Melanie Jones. Her parents did not assist me in reaching Catherine. I recalled that her dad, Robert, was flagged as an officer safety risk. Oh? Like, why? I've known Robert for several years now, and I've never seen him hurt a police officer, or like, why you think he's an officer safety risk? So I'm wondering who flagged him that, or if Caden flagged him as that. I don't know. I also recalled that when I spoke to Robert back in August, he was confrontational and armed with a handgun. Yeah, well, what do you expect? You just want him to hand his daughter over to you when you're trying to throw her in jail for something she didn't do? This guy, he told me something to the effect of, if I wanted to shoot you, I would have done so already, and then started laughing. Yeah, because when they're leaving he's like, get off my property, and then when they're leaving, they're all like walking backwards to keep an eye on him and making an issue about his handgun on his hip, which he always carries on his hip, and he has a right to do.
If I wanted to shoot you, dude, I would have already done it. You're stupid. You're being dumb. Just go.
And which they do. They had handguns on their hips at the same time. Like, should they be flagged as a people safety risk? And then everybody warned about him. This guy's known to carry. This cop, Caden Line, he carries openly. He's a danger to all society. Which he is, because he's arresting women, trying to pull up their shirt, trapping them in a room with him, and trying to coerce a confession. Anyway, you can watch that video if you want to see how he treated Catherine Jones. Ultimately, since I was unable to reach Catherine, I requested a warrant to be issued for her arrest. That warrant was issued back in September. On 12/6, just after midnight, I happened to run a license plate on a vehicle that was registered to Catherine. I arrested her and served her the warrant on that date. Refer to CR N24 43171 for further details, which I published those records in an earlier video. Heidi states that she was inside the house and armed with a gun. Also, she's armed with a gun too, but she was still in a state of panic, and I could sense the fear in her voice. As I was gaining some more information about what was going on, her voice grew even more frightened. She stated the car was driving by the house again. Yeah, so Robert had went there, wrote the chalk, and then they drove away, and then he thought, oh, I should see what her license plate is in case they came from California or something, because we've got some of these bad cops coming from Seattle or Portland or California, that like Bradley Chambers, Chief Ryan Lee, they come here to Idaho and get these positions and just terrorize people, just violate people's rights and get away with it. She said the car was driving by the house again. I told her I was on the way. At that stage, we were going back and forth with details as to what was happening. She interjected quickly, then nervously cried out that the vehicle had turned around and was coming back by the house yet again. By this time, approximately 4 minutes after I picked up her phone call, I was not far from my house. I told my wife that I was almost there, and I was notifying dispatch to create a call for service at her house. At approximately 18:14 hours, I told Napa Police Dispatch via radio to create a suspicious vehicle call, 704 Altura Street, and start me a second police unit as backup. I arrived on scene in front of my house just seconds after the call was created by dispatch. I observed a 1985 GMC C1500 bearing Idaho temporary registration tag parked directly in front of my house, but on the west side of the street. I saw a male standing outside of the vehicle walking towards my house. As I pulled up in front of the car, I activated my overhead lights. The reason I activated my overhead lights was based on the following information. Statements made by my wife concerning the male's vague threat of "I'll be back." So he admits that it's vague, but "I'll be back" doesn't mean he's coming back to hurt anyone. He's protesting what Officer Lyon was doing to his daughter. He was concerned for his daughter for good cause. How would you, I don't know, just think about if it's your daughter, how are you going to feel about an officer doing what he did over nothing, over something she didn't do? And it seemed like maybe, I know it's a mob tactic or whatever, but to go after somebody's family. And with Robert's background in the People's Rights Network and activism against CPS, it seemed like they were maybe going to his daughter as a way to get him and to provoke him.
Pretty much the hand your dad dealt you.
But anyway, so Robert was concerned about his daughter. So leave my daughter alone, just that's all it means, is leave my daughter alone. And yeah, if they're unlawfully continuing to kidnap her and harass her and threaten her and try to coerce a confession, he has a right to use his voice to, or whatever, to defend his daughter. Of course, he's not he doesn't jump to violence like they do. So he was using chalk to protest it, as he often does, just using his First Amendment rights. He wasn't there. He wasn't there to hurt Heidi or Caden. I'll be back. Probably Like, until we can get assurance that he's going to stop gang stalking his daughter, that he would be protesting it, publicly protesting it, because that can often put it in check without having to use any violence. But they're just trying to stretch everything. It's a political thing. The fear I recognized in her voice, the repeated course of conduct the male exhibited by first verbally contacting her, then driving by the house numerous times, the graffiti on the sidewalk, which is a violation of Idaho Code 1870-36. Well, then why didn't you charge him with 1870-36? They didn't charge him with that because it's not a violation and he knows it. The shining of the strobe light into the windows of my house would be in violation of Idaho Code 1864-09, disturbing the peace, specifically tumultuous conduct, which if you look in the dictionary, tumultuous conduct is like making a loud, unusual noise. So then they didn't make a loud noise. They just wrote chalk on the sidewalk, took a picture of her license plate, and left. Melanie video recorded it. And then they took their phones, both of them, for evidence, but then they didn't get the videos off the phone, which would be the evidence. And they're actually preventing that evidence from getting into the evidence on the case by holding the phones. So Robert and Melanie can't have the video, which would show a better view of Caden starting a physical confrontation with Robert over nothing, over spread your legs, when his legs are already spread. So we'll see how he talks about that in the police report coming up here. All the factors combined lead me to believe that a crime had occurred and or was occurring. Disturbing the peace is kind of another resist and obstruct or trespass thing where it's just a catch-all that they can use. But this is writing chalk on a sidewalk, having a flashlight, shining a flashlight into someone's window is not disturbing the peace. I think what he was trying to do is verify this was Caden Line's house. A crime was about to occur, and therefore it would be lawful to conduct an investigative detention. As I exited my patrol vehicle, the male, who was later identified as Robert Jones, shined a bright strobe light from a handheld flashlight directly into my eyes. Based on my training and experience, this poses a huge officer safety risk in that it diminishes my ability to see. This is so hypocritical. Because they're always blasting lights into people's eyes. Is that not a people safety risk? A huge people safety risk? Especially at nighttime. I also observed an adult female sitting in the passenger seat of the vehicle. I presume this to be his wife, Melanie Jones, based on my previous interaction with them. I also observed that Robert was wearing a large winter coat, and I was unable to see his waistline. I recalled my previous involvement with Robert while I observed him in possession of a handgun on his waistline. At this time, I was the only officer on the scene. Based on the factors described in the paragraphs above, I determined it would be reasonable to detain Robert in handcuffs and conduct a Terry pat for weapons if need be. Reasonable. This is a weird way of thinking. Having recognized that I had the authority to detain Robert in handcuffs and conduct a Terry pat. What are you talking about? I thought of two crimes that this doesn't even come close to meeting, and so I had authority to do it. Like, I guess they just have they can make up authority to do anything then, to throw you in handcuffs and search your stuff. It was not until this moment that my body-worn camera started recording. Normally my body camera is automatically activated when I activate my vehicle's overhead lights, but for some reason this did not occur. I double-checked to see I was recording and realized I was not, and manually activated my camera with the remote on my duty vest. Robert disregarded my presence and started walking away from me. He started walking toward my house. I asked him, "What's your business here?" To which he replied, "I don't answer questions." He asked what he was being detained for, and I told him, "Right now the statements that you're making to the lady inside." Robert said something to the effect of, "So that you'll leave my daughter alone?" We had some conversation about why he was being detained, and I asked him some general questions about what he was doing at my house. You know what he's doing at your house. He's protesting what you're doing to his daughter. Is it not clear? Robert mostly just stated, which he has a right to do that, it's First Amendment, just stated that he doesn't answer questions. Robert started to walk away again and asked if he was being detained or if he was free to go. I told him he was being detained. It should be noted that since I was just on the phone with my wife and I had my phone in my pocket of my patrol vest, there's some background audio that can be heard on my body cam, which is her talking into the phone. Yeah, you can hear that. You can hear her say, "You want a treat?" That's how people act when they're absolutely terrified that someone's about to kill them. See, Robert stated I should get another cop there, or maybe a couple of other cops there because of a possible conflict of interest. Yeah, you think? I told him there was another cop coming. He stated I should go talk to her to figure this out, and I told her I was not going to leave him to go talk to her until another cop arrived. At this stage, I had yet to detain Robert in handcuffs or conduct a Terry pat because I figured the conflict could escalate and it was possible he would resist and or obstruct. I decided to wait until a second unit was on scene. He didn't wait. This is baloney. He wanted to start something before they got there. While waiting, Robert stuck his left hand into his jacket pocket. He pulled it out and then stuck it in. Then you saw an opportunity. I told him I need you to keep your hands out of your pockets, and he quickly replied no. I told him a couple more times to keep his hands out of his pockets, but he kept refusing. Well, listen to the whole conversation and Robert's reasoning, but he doesn't mention any of that. He only was going to try to mention what's favorable to him, or what might look more favorable to him. At that time, I grabbed his left arm and pulled it out from his pocket. I explained to him that keeping his hands in his pockets was an officer's safety risk, and that he was flagged as having officer safety concerns. Again, based on what? So who all is flagged? Am I flagged as an officer safety concern? Like, how are they going to treat me because of that? With Robert's history, this just doesn't make sense. He continued to resist by trying to pull his left arm away from me. I told him I'm going to detain you in handcuffs, to which he replied, no thank you. At the time I recognized there was probable cause to arrest Robert for violating Idaho Code 18705, resist and obstruct. There's that other go-to. What probable cause? So this authority to detain him stemming from graffiti probable cause for graffiti or disturbing the peace? No. So the resist is bogus. Instead of using force to overcome his resistance, I again decided to wait until the second officer was on. No, he wasn't waiting. I was concerned that Melanie was in close proximity, given that she was in the front passenger seat and we were just to the rear of the vehicle, and that a use of force on Robert could leave me outnumbered. I asked for the next unit to step it up, meaning to respond in a Code 3 fashion, lights and sirens. I told Robert I was going to arrest him for resist and obstruct because he was not obeying my commands, to which he replied, I don't need to obey your command. Which is true. You don't have to obey commands of police officers that are unlawful, which obviously here, none of this was lawful. He then stated, you have no authority over me, dude. I had yet to relinquish control over his left arm, and there was some more back and forth about why I was going to detain him in handcuffs. Yes, reasonable articulable suspicion, which you, even in this police report later on, you couldn't articulate anything legitimate, just baloney. At about this time, I saw the second responding officer around the corner onto Altura Street. I told Robert to turn around, which unexpectedly he complied with. Whatever. I told him to separate his feet as standard practice when placing someone into handcuffs, but he refused to do so. That's baloney. You can even see from Caden Line's body cam that if you pause it at the right moment, that his feet were already separated, but you'd be able to see this better from the video on Robert's phone that Melanie was taking. So, get ready for some BS. Standard when placing someone into handcuffs, but he refused to do so. I gave him a more stern command, separate your feet, but he still did not move. A third command was given with no change. Considering Robert's clear display of resistance by not separating his feet when his feet are already separated, I utilized a rear double leg takedown to overcome his resistance. Whatever, dude. He was standing there, feet spread, hands behind his back. It was easy to just put handcuffs on him. This move involved grabbing, which he shouldn't have been doing in the first place. It was totally unnecessary. He had his hands in his pocket because it was cold. He wasn't a threat. You're the threat. This move involved grabbing the front of his legs as I was positioned behind him, then using my shoulder upper body to quickly force his momentum forward. By trapping his legs with my hands, he was unable to step forward and catch a step, thus he fell to the ground and landed on his stomach. That's a pretty dangerous move. That could kill somebody. Luckily, Robert landed on the grass. He could have landed face first on the sidewalk. That could have killed him. But yeah, Caden was mad and trying to hurt Robert. Once on the ground, I gained a position called top back mount, where I was straddling his midsection / back with my knees. I placed one of my arms across his face and moved it to the side, which is a move called head displacement. This move applies pressure to their face, moving it to side, which can help in gaining compliance by distracting their attention away from their arms. I gave Robert multiple, it's hard to see with his body cam up so close. It'd be better to be able to see Melanie, so the jury to be able to see that, but they're trying to prevent that, which is a Brady violation, I believe. I gave Robert multiple commands to place his hands behind his back, which was accomplished with little resistance. Robert was placed into handcuffs without further incident. Once in handcuffs, Robert said he was all right and stated they tried to hurt me, but it didn't work. He then stated he had a firearm on his right hip. I secured the firearm by removing the magazine and racking the slide. So when Robert mentioned his firearm to him, like, Caden took that as, oh yeah, that's why I'm doing this. It's like, rather than seeing that as like a de-escalation, like, hey, just let you know I got a gun on my hip, like, you don't need to be worried about it. Like, I did not, okay, thanks for letting me know. I did not observe a cartridge eject from the chamber. I stood Robert up and told him he was, which I think when he racked it, a bullet did come out. I stood Robert up and told him he was under arrest for resist and obstruct. I'd searched him incident to arrest and fondled his balls, juggled his balls because I'm a ball juggler. Robert said, oh, what, you want to know what real balls feel like? Anyways, yeah, the way he's handling Robert's balls is just unnecessary, at least. I located a flashlight in his pocket and a piece of chalk. Oh no! I manipulated the flashlight and observed that it had a strobe function. From there, I muted my body camera because I was no longer in direct contact with the public. I spoke to other officers on scene about the situation. What can we charge these guys with? Man, I fucking hate these guys.
Fuck it, like, yeah, she's at it. She's clear, but yeah, fuck them.
And it was decided that the Canyon County Sheriff's Office would take over the investigation. I went inside my house to check on my wife. She was visibly upset and almost in tears. I could tell she was trying to hold it together, but she appeared fearful. She expressed how scared she was when she saw Robert get outside of his vehicle, but luckily that is right about the time I showed up and intervened. Oh, he intervened to save her life. What? You can see what he was doing. He got his phone out and he took a picture of the back of their car. He wasn't going to attack Heidi. They just create the situation in their minds, or at least pretend to, that Robert was there to attack her. He's not like that. You may have been doing that to his daughter as a way to get at him, but he was not doing that to your wife. He's saying, tell your husband to leave my daughter alone, because he's concerned about his daughter. Who wouldn't be? That's not how you would act if you were trying to intimidate or harm someone. That's not how you would go about it. Who the heck would do that? It's just stupid. But luckily this is right about the time that I showed up and intervened. She was not, and who would film themselves writing chalk on a sidewalk as a way to terrify someone or hurt them? Like, who would do that first? I showed up and intervened. She was not sure of his intentions at that point. So if she's not sure of his intentions, how does she know that he's there to harm her? It's not reasonable. But they're going to try to use these emotions that she was in fear for her life and meeting her baby or whatever, that to try to get the jury to convict him. I explained to her that I was not going to interview her or get a statement, and that was to be left for the Canyon County Sheriff's Office deputies. I contemplated the statement Robert said to Heidi, tell your husband to stay away from my daughter. You contemplated that statement? How do you think you should have responded? Like, how about, yeah, Robert, I see why you're concerned. I'll stay away from your daughter. That would have been a better response, right? This statement made me feel threatened. So him telling you to stay away from his daughter made you feel threatened. How threatened do you think his daughter felt and his wife when you started hinting at arresting her for withholding information, which is totally bogus anyway, but you're just using that to intimidate. This is projection or whatever, accusing them of what you do. Considering Robert's uncooperativeness, how about your uncooperativeness? His resistance and his brash encounter, so brash, to write chalk on my sidewalk, on the sidewalk by my house. I felt threatened that if and or when I was to appear in court to testify in his daughter Catherine's graffiti case, he may be there and continue to display these behaviors. So that's what you're afraid of? That he would show up at court for his daughter's court hearings? Of course he's going to be there. Like, at the trial. But there was no trial because, you had nothing on her. And you were just trying to coerce her to confess to something she didn't do. I found this statement to be intimidating and threatening. Oh my goodness. Such a freaking hypocrite. Such a liar. Full of baloney. I took no further involvement in handling the scene from that point on, as the investigation was to be handled by Canyon County Sheriff's Office. I gave a brief summary as to what happened to the Canyon County Sheriff's Office deputies when they arrived and shared the knowledge I had about what occurred. Hey man, can you hit him with something hard? He was, what can we hit him with? Just as retaliation, because I don't like how they're, not just letting me have my way with their daughter. I ended up taking the rest of the night off of work to be with my wife because she was afraid of who else might show up at the house. End of report. Well, nobody else showed up at the house that day. I went back to the house, and I talked, but I have no interest in harming his wife or him. We just want them to stop with this nonsense and violating our rights. So we protested using chalk, try to bring awareness among his neighbors. So while you're taking the night off with your wife to ease each other's terrified minds and calm the fears that you've imagined up, here's what Robert's wife is going through. Which one seems more scary?
You actually had a man in your cell who was saying he was a woman, is that right?
Yep, the last night, yes.
Women are isolated in this tiny little cell, and then you can be stuck in there with a man saying that he's a woman.
It was walking around, just whistling or just doing weird stuff. It just seemed weird. A little bit crazy, making a lot of noise. When they brought him in, the bunkie and I, we both looked at each other and we were like, really? And the only thing that went through my head was, I can't go to the bathroom. Right. I just didn't want to, it's weird.
Right.
I was surprised to hear that they put a full-blown guy in with my wife.
Oh, I bet.
I won't go into how I feel about that, but yeah, just,
Yeah.
Just think about it, could have been your daughter.
Oh.
Picked up for something and
Right.
they just throw a guy in with them and,
Right.
But you just never imagine that it's going to go to this level for your family.
Here, this is the CAD call info. Address, 704 Altura Street. Urgent, Robert, in-house officer safety. So somebody within the Nampa Police flagged him as an officer safety risk? Why? Sovereign citizen? A sovereign citizen. You guys are the sovereign citizens. Why do you even say that? When does Robert ever claim to be a sovereign citizen? That doesn't even make sense. Anyway, not LEO friendly. Never mind that he has friendly interactions with law enforcement. Whatever. A lot of other officers would probably say otherwise. They've sometimes utilized, I think, conversations with Robert to de-escalate situations, which is good. Officer Lowe. On 12/6/2024 at approximately 18:14 hours, I heard Officer Line advise on his radio that his spouse was calling him, advising that there was a male at his address, that there had been a vehicle driving multiple times in front of the residence. Officer Line requested a second unit, which I started responding to his location. As I was driving to his location, Officer Line requested a code 3 response. Due to this, I had turned on my exaggerated response to create something out of nothing, which is what they do. I had turned on my overhead lights and siren, continued to Officer Line's location. As I arrived on scene, I observed Officer Line holding a male's arm, who was later identified as Robert Jones. I then observed the male tense up, while Officer Line attempted to move the male's arm behind his back, Officer Line at this point took the male to the ground. Due to this, I ran to the passenger side of my patrol vehicle and deployed with my state-certified apprehension dog, K9 016 Creed. I began running towards the location stating, "Dog, dog, dog," where an officer crossed my path, so I did not deploy Creed for a bite. So he's afraid they would bite a different officer, so that's why he didn't. Otherwise, he would have sent the dog to bite Robert for no freaking reason. That's what I'm reading here. As I was saying dog, the male then began stating, "I'm not resisting," and was able to be placed into handcuffs. I stood by with Creed until the male was secured and told the woman to step behind the fence that was standing nearby recording. Yeah, we wouldn't want her to get a good shot of what was going on, so you don't get held accountable for unlawfully violating Robert's rights. This woman was later identified as Melanie Jones. As I was standing by, I observed Officer Line remove a firearm from the male. Once the male was secured, I placed Creed back in my patrol vehicle and went and made contact with Melody. I asked her what was going on, and she stated that the male I was arrested was her husband, and she did not have anything further to say and continued to record the incident. Melanie was leaning against a vehicle as I was talking to her. The vehicle was a gray 1985 GMC bearing Idaho license plate. As I was standing next to Melanie, officers requested that I deploy Creed around that vehicle. At this point, I went to my patrol vehicle and deployed with Creed again. I walked up to the vehicle and gave Creed his search command to conduct a free open air sniff around the vehicle for narcotics. Why? What does narcotics have anything to do with this? When did you think they become suspicious of narcotics? Which they didn't find anything. We made 2 passes around the vehicle. Creed showed no distinct change of behavior and was placed back into the vehicle. It should be noted that later, Caden County deputies arrived on the scene to take over the investigation. It was deemed that Melanie was also going to be placed under arrest for a crime and was advised to take the phones on her that she had. Officer Isaacs placed Melanie into custody. See her supplement for further. I took the phones that Melanie had. Melanie stated that the password on her phone was, and willingly gave that to me, and that the other phone belonged to Robert, and that she did not know the passcode for it. I observed that Robert and Melanie's phone was about to die, so I did place them onto a Type-C charger to avoid them shutting off to lose potential evidence located on those phones. The evidence that they're holding the phone so that evidence can't get into trial. While standing, which they might, Top Miller, the judge didn't see a problem with them getting their phone back at the last hearing, and Top Miller didn't either. Said they'd just give them back, but then he didn't. So now the attorney's having to file a motion to try to get him back. While standing with Melody, I asked her why she was at this residence. She stated she did not want to answer that, and that it's not a crime to stand on the sidewalk and write on the sidewalk with chalk, which it isn't. It's not a graffiti crime. After the phone had been set on the charger, Robert's been doing that at CPS for years and years and years on the public sidewalk. I relinquished them to Caden County deputies, and I also retrieved a firearm from the back of Officer Line's patrol vehicle and gave that to them as well. I took no further action regarding this case. Nothing further. Officer Lowe, 638. They seized his weapon. Officer Isaacs. Officer Line advised on the radio that his spouse called him and advised that there was a male at their address, that a vehicle had driven multiple times past their house. Officer Line requested additional units to assist, to which I began driving to his location. While en route, Officer Line requested a Code 3 response. I activated my overhead lights and sirens and continued to his location. I arrived on scene and observed Officer Line take a male, later identified as Robert Jones, to the ground. I ran to Officer Line, who was attempting to get control of Robert's arms, and I wrapped my legs, and instead of protecting Robert from this maniac who was just was mad and attacking Robert for no reason, I wrapped my legs around Robert's legs in an attempt to control his movements. I assisted Officer Line with keeping control of Robert while he searched his person. Officer Line removed a firearm from Robert's waistline. Robert was assisted to a standing position. Assisted is not the right word. And escorted to my patrol vehicle. Robert was searched further and placed in the back of my patrol vehicle. I stood by with a female identified as Melanie Jones, who is the wife of Robert. Melanie requested a jacket or blanket out of the vehicle due to the cold weather. I looked in the front passenger seat area of the vehicle for a blanket or jacket. I located chalk, which I would later be advised that the chalk was used to write on Officer Line's driveway. That's right. I located a jacket in the back seat of the vehicle, checked the pockets for weapons, and handed the jacket to Melanie. I was advised that the phones Melanie was using to record the interaction were used to record the incident at Officer Line's house. Caden County deputies arrived on scene and took over the investigation. Oh, they got video. Let's go make sure we get it, so that we can create a narrative without anybody being able to actually see what happened. I was told to place Melanie under arrest for her involvement in the crime. And what crime? Her involvement? She didn't even chalk. All she did was record with her cell phone. I searched Melanie and I did not locate anything of interest on her person. I assisted the deputies with placing Robert and Melanie into their patrol vehicles. I cleared the scene with no further involvement. So what's the probable cause for arresting Melanie? Where's the reasonable articulable suspicion for arresting Melanie? I was told to place Melanie under arrest for involvement in the crime. Shouldn't you be asking, place her under arrest? What's the probable cause of which crime? How are you saying she did that? Like, that's what a police officer should be doing. There should be an unbiased, impartial officer just enforcing the law, not automatically siding with other law enforcement officers, just obeying what they say without any question. She has a personal oath to the Constitution and to enforce the laws, not what people want that is unlawful. So this, I don't know, this just shows that she made an arrest, placed Melanie under arrest without any probable cause or understanding of even what was going on here. And she can't articulate it in a police report. But they're supposed to be able to articulate it before they make any arrest. I don't think she even mentioned what arrest for her involvement in the crime. What crime and what's her involvement? Like, that's all she's going to say about it? That's not reasonable articulable suspicion just because another officer said to do it. You should have asked that officer to verify what it was. What was the articulable suspicion, the probable cause? And what was even the charge? She didn't even know the charge. Here's a different one. Officer Cauldron. This is that creep that tried to intimidate me at the police station who was on the scene when I was at the police station asking about these records. I arrived on scene and acted as a cover officer during this incident. I did not make contact with any involved parties, make any observations, or take any substantive action. So there we go. Is that going to disrupt law enforcement proceedings? These corrupt law enforcement proceedings? I don't think so. This case should be dismissed. Absolutely. Prosecutor Christopher Topmiller should let this go because this is obviously BS. And the charges, if you look at the video, what actually happened, what they did does not meet the elements of these charges at all. It's just outrageous. There's a minimum 1 year in prison over these charges, so it's concerning. Like, so Caden Line just really doesn't even care. Doesn't take any responsibility for wrongdoing to Robert's daughter or to Robert and Melanie. He punished them, retaliated them on that night, violated their rights, just like he had their daughter, getting them arrested. He threw Melanie in the can with another dude who was acting like a woman, like he was a woman, so he's in with the women at the jail. And now they're facing years and years in prison, including a charge with a minimum 1 year. So he doesn't mind taking a year out of Robert's life away from his family over nothing, just because he's concerned about his daughter and tried to use chalk as a way to protest the unlawful arrest of his daughter. Get out of here. Like, why do we tolerate this stuff? It's ridiculous and it's wrong. We need to put a check. Why do we not pay attention to the police and just let them get away with anything? All kinds of rights violations like this. Like, what, isn't this such an awful state that they can just do whatever they want to us and we pay for it? We pay for their attorneys and they can get away with anything. That's why transparency is so important. We need to change these transparency laws so we can get these videos and reports easier and all the records involved. We need to start holding them to following the law. Like, if they're going to be enforcement, they need to actually apply the law to themselves first.
Supervisor out here.
Number 360, I'll be out with a male, 704 Alters.
There we go.
Okay, what's your business here?
I don't answer questions.
Okay.
What are you detaining me for?
Right now, the statements that you're making to the lady inside.
Well, what statement was that?
Oh,
So you leave my daughter alone?
that's what I'm here to talk to you about.
Okay.
Okay,
I don't
what-
answer questions.
And what premise are you saying to leave your daughter alone? What's this about? Who's your daughter?
I don't answer questions.
Well, then what are you here to figure out?
I figured it out.
Okay, is your daughter Catherine?
I don't answer questions.
Okay.
I'm not being detained or am I free to go?
No, right now you're detained.
For what?
Because I need to go talk to her and figure out what's going on.
Talk to her then.
Okay, that's I got 28 for you.
It was a cheat.
So your daughter's Catherine. I'm assuming that's what this is about. Because I arrested her last night, is that right?
I don't answer questions. I am
Physical disappearance.
For you to continue to attempt to interrogate me, you're violating my rights. So now what are you detaining me for?
Well, I need to detain you so I can go talk to her and figure out what was made.
Well, go talk to her.
But she called us out here.
Okay, go talk to her. Go talk to my
I will,
wife.
but I'm not leaving.
Is that a conflict of interest? How about you get another cop here, or maybe a couple of other cops?
I'm not leaving yet.
Investigation.
I'm not going to leave to go talk to her.
Okay, we'll get some other cops here, because obviously if it's your wife, then it's conflict of interest. So you need another cop here.
I have another cop coming.
Okay.
Good boy.
I'm trying to remember your first name.
That's kind of a bad memory, doesn't it?
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, but 362 on secondary. Can you run the RL on that vehicle? Should be last of Jones. I forget the first name now. Affirm. You need to keep your hands out of your pockets.
No, thank you.
Keep your hands out of your pockets.
No, thank you.
Nope, keep your hands out of your
No,
pockets.
thank you.
Sir, keep your hands out of your pockets. Okay, I'm going to detain you in handcuffs.
There's not a warrant.
I'm going to detain you. If you're putting your hands in your pockets, that's an officer safety risk. You're flagged as an officer safety.
I don't.
So if I'm detaining you right now,
check that. You can check that for a weapon.
I'm going to put you in handcuffs.
Check there for a weapon.
Sir, I'm going to put you in handcuffs.
No, thank you.
Okay. Nap out next, you can step it up.
Hey, videotape this. You're trying to handcuff.
Yep, I'm detaining you in handcuffs.
Okay, for no crime.
So I'm investigating a crime.
Good. Take my phone and videotape it.
What crime did you commit?
Yeah, what crime did I commit?
Keep your hands out of your pockets.
Quit pushing me around, dude. What are your hands on me for?
I'm gonna arrest you for resist and obstruct at this point.
I haven't committed a crime.
You are detained.
Okay. Have I moved? Have I gotten my vehicle and left?
No, but I'm going to detain you in handcuffs because you're not.
I'm cold.
You're not obeying my commands.
I don't need to obey your commands. You have no authority over me, dude. What are you doing to me?
You don't want to go with the program?
What program?
I'm going to put you in handcuffs.
For what reason?
Because I've already explained this.
For what reason?
You won't keep your hands out of your pockets.
Okay, I'll keep
you
my
are
hands out of
lawfully
my pocket,
detained.
even though I'm cold.
We're past that point.
Okay.
Okay, so go ahead and turn around.
Okay.
Put you in handcuffs. Separate your feet. Separate your feet.
You're separated.
Separate your feet.
My feet are separated.
Do not resist me.
I'm not resisting.
Do not resist me. Put your hand behind your back. Hand behind your back.
My hands are out. I'm not resisting you.
Watch her too. They're known to carry firearms.
Okay, step behind this fence now.
Yeah, I'm alright. He tried to hurt me, but it didn't work.
Nampa 362.
262.
95 with 1. You can unsecure.
Nipping summer zone restricted 18-20 hours.
That's why I took you down, dude.
You took me down because you took off.
362, go my click.
And the hand I put in my pocket dropped inside my gun. Smart guy.
Okay, I
I told
don't.
you can check the weapon there because I was cold. So of course I put my hand in my pocket when I'm cold.
Well, no.
Hey dude, don't be pointing that thing towards me.
Okay, I'm gonna sit you up. Sit up.
Ow, what the fuck are you doing, man?
Let's go. You're under arrest.
For what?
Resist and obstruct. Face the car. Separate your feet. So there's a gun on the lawn. He's scared.
And a stray bullet also. A full round. And I'll turn that over to my wife. You're a tyrant, right there. You get off on your little power. You have no authority over me. I committed no crime.
331 National Code 4.
Just so you understand, I don't give you consent to search.
You're under arrest. This is search incident to arrest.
Body cam on? Yep.
Got some sort of secret pocket in here?
It's just a coat. No secret.
You got me confused.
It doesn't take much, does it?
Guess not. Well, you want to tell me how to get it? Or do I need to take it off and cut it?
I don't know what the hell you're even talking
Oh, here we go. That's what you.
If that flashlight gets hot, you might want to shut it off.
Okay. Turn around. I'm gonna have somebody else transport. You able to? Yeah. Okay. You wanna take him to your car? I'll get his property scared. We'll reconvene here in a second. Watch out! Watch out, guy! Dog! 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 Dog!
Hands are out! My hands are out! I'm not resisting you.
Watch out, guy! Watch out, guy!
Watch them too, they're known to carry firearms.
Okay, step behind this fence now.
Watch out, guy! Watch out, guy!
Yeah, I'm alright. You tried to hurt me, but it didn't work.
Watch out, good boy. Yeah. Here. Watch out, guy. Watch out, guy. Yeah, good boy. Good boy.
Hey, sir, for an officer safety issue, I do have a gun on my side. I'd like you to remove it so you don't hurt me.
That's why I took you down, dude.
No, you took me down because you're pissed off. That's why you took me down. And that hand I put in my pocket is the opposite side of my gun. Smart guy. I told you could check for weapons there because I was cold. So of course I put my hand in my pocket when I'm cold. Hey dude, this one happened with me.
Just sit you.
Ow! Ow! What the fuck are you doing, man?
Watch out, guy. Yeah. Yeah. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Dog! Behind your back. Dog! Hands behind your back. My hands are out. I'm not resisting you.
Watch it good. Watch it good. Watch her too. They're not a carry firearms.
I'm just recording. I'll stand back.
Okay, step behind this fence now.
Sure. Right, you're okay?
Yeah, I'm alright. He tried to hurt me, but it didn't work.
Yeah, but there's two.
262.
95 with Melanie, going screw.
Hey. Restricted 18-20 hours.
Is some safety issue? I do have a gun on my side. I'd like you to remove it so you don't hurt me.
That's why I took you down, dude.
No. You took me down because you're pissed off. That's why you took me down. And that hand I put in my pocket is the opposite side of my gun. Smart guy.
Okay,
I told you could check for weapons there because I was cold. So of course I put my hand in my pocket when I'm cold.
Well, now.
Hey, dude. Keep putting that in there.
That's the jump. Get up.
Ow! Ow! What the fuck are you doing, man?
Go.
For what?
That's an instruction.
Ran scratched the crap out of my trunk, but I didn't have like any video footage of that, so I didn't record it. But a couple days ago, her TikTok profile showed up on my feed, so I tried to go block it, but I accidentally clicked on her page. And on TikTok, when you click on someone's page, they get notified. So she got notified that I viewed her page, and she tried to request to follow, but I ignored it. And then so she decided to make a whole new Instagram account because I blocked her on all social media, except for TikTok. I forgot.
Okay.
And she texted me saying, "Oh, look, it looks like I have a fan." And then I'm like, I explained to her I'm not interested in her. I'll never regret breaking up with her. And she was like, "Yeah, of course." And I'm like I have a girlfriend now because I have a girlfriend now, and she's more of a woman than she could ever be. And then I called her a fag because she's bisexual, and that's one thing that I hated about her. And then, 1 or 2 days later, I come out of work and this is on my phone.
Okay, did you just find this today?
Yeah, today.
Okay.
I came out of work at 6.
Okay. Gotcha. I'm gonna take some photos of it real quick. Well, the good news is it comes off easy.
I know she lives on Lone Star, Nampa, like 3 houses down from the Lone Star Middle School.
Okay.
I don't remember the house numbers, but I could drive you there if you need it. And I'm pretty sure her friend was involved in it. Her name is, and I know where she lives too.
Okay, let me get X's name.
Catherine Royal Jones.
Do you know how to spell her first name?
No. I know it starts with a K.
So it's K, okay. You don't know if it's like E-R-I-N-E or R-Y-N or...
It's Y.
Okay.
I might be able to look up.
Her last name is Jones?
Yeah.
Do you know her date of birth?
No, but she is 19 or 20 right now.
Okay. Do you know what type of car she drives?
She drives a red Chevy Tahoe, I think.
Do you know what year?
No.
If you had to guess what year, like...
Around, like, 2008.
Okay. And then, do you have her phone number still?
No, I don't.
Go for it.
I can give her social media. Like, maybe her social media.
Yeah, sure. You said she lives off Lone Star near Lone Star Middle?
Yeah, like, it's a red house, 2 or 3 houses down from Lone Star.
Okay. Maybe I'll have you pull it up on a map.
Hold on. She goes by Caden.
Okay.
I can't find her Instagram, but I'll find she blocked me on TikTok. Shoot, I can't find her.
Okay, that's not a big deal, honestly. I'm gonna look at something in my car real quick. Can you try to pull up the map and see if you can figure out what address she's in? Okay. If you want to hang out in your car with AC, you're welcome to, or if there's a little bit of shade in front, but just give me like 2 minutes and... Oh, okay.
If you want to grab my phone, that's her house. The Lone Star is towards the left.
Her house is this one?
Yeah, it's the 4th house. It's red. There's a bunch of like cars
Okay. Jefferson. Okay, I'll write that down. It's red, bunch of cars. Alrighty. I'll step it up. Go for it. So, with this one, the tough thing is that there's not damage to your car, right? So we're not gonna have the vandalism because it comes off with your finger. You know, it's not scratched from what I can tell underneath. But what I'd be interested in looking into is there's a city code which basically makes it against the law for people to do stuff that's like in bad character. Probably something like this would fit for that. So I'm just trying to look and see if I really have something on that. So if I determine that this would fit that city code violation, I could charge her, you know, with the misdemeanor for doing such. That's something that you'd have to be wanting to, you know, move forward on, and you're right.
It's just gonna keep happening.
Yeah. So could have to, you know, go to court and just basically tell me or tell them what you told me, which
No longer
wouldn't
muted.
be too difficult. But so at the very least, I could try to get in touch with her and get her side of the story. If she admits to it, awesome. If not, we'd probably have to look into like pulling camera from here and go that route. So if that's something you want to do, I'm more than happy. I'll try to find her and get in touch and call her, and or maybe just stop by the house and see if I can chat with her. And I could give her a ticket for the misdemeanor, and then she would have to go to court, and then the court process would start, which usually takes, you know, a couple weeks.
Would I have to be there for that court day? Or
no? No, you might not even have to go at all, ever. It just depends. If she wants to deny it and fight it, then yeah, you'd probably have to go to court and basically just tell court what you told me. Sometimes people though, they just plead out, or they're just like, yeah, they pay a fine for something like this maybe, and then you wouldn't even have to get involved. It just kind of depends on where the case goes. So another thing I would suggest is like a protection order.
Yeah, I'll probably do that.
Have you ever done one of those before with anybody? Okay. So what you'd be looking at for something like this would be a civil protection order. It's something that you have to do yourself. You go on Google, type in Caden County, because that's the county we're in, Caden County Civil Protection Order, find a whole bunch of information on how to do that. But basically you would go to the court, you'd say, hey, I have a police report number for this incident, I have whatever else. If a judge says, yeah, this is enough to grant a protection order, they would then like subpoena her, and she'd have to show up, and then they would basically just issue her an order saying that she can't harass you, stalk you, show up to your work, show up to your house, do anything that might intimidate you, threaten you, harass you, stuff like that. And if she were to be found doing those, she's violating the protection order. That's an arrestable offense or a ticket. Just depends on the circumstance. So I'd highly suggest looking into that. Again, it's up to you, but it could be worth your time. It's just kind of one other piece to. So let me read into the city code a little bit more real quick, see if we have something. So give me a minute. Affirm, go for it.
No longer muted.
Alright, so I think I was able to find her in our system, that same address. Phone number for her as well. So what I'll probably do is just swing by there, see if I can chat with her. If not, I'll call her and leave her a message if she doesn't pick up to get back in touch with me. There is a specific, I don't know, I didn't think about this earlier. There's a specific code for graffiti. It's a misdemeanor so it doesn't matter if you can wipe the paint off or not. It's still the act of, graffitiing your car without your permission. So, I think with chatting with her, I'd probably have enough to charge her. If that's something you wanted to do, then we can do that. So, alright. I will do that. I got your phone number, so I can follow up with you later today, let you know what's going on, and just give you a heads up. Okay? Yeah. Do you, I got some, paper towels if you want to help wipe that off, or does that help you out? Let me see, I think I do. Better double check now. Give you a whole bunch. You can just keep the rest, throw them away. I looked into the hate crime aspect of it. Here in Idaho, it actually doesn't cover any type of sexual orientation bias. It's just race, religion, those type of things. So I don't have that. So I think the graffiti is going to be the most fitting one. Okay. You got any questions for me before I take off?
What's that thing called where restraining order?
Civil protection order. Yeah, basically a restraining order. It's technically called civil protection order, but yeah, just give it a Google search and you'll find plenty of info on it. Alright? Okay, I'll talk to you later. Hello. That's a big doggy.
She's my daughter.
Where's she living at now?
Over that way.
You know which house?
No, I know she was going to come over to get Fox's kids to go back to school.
It's really nothing serious. I'm trying to clarify it.
Sure it wasn't the girl that just put her face in the glass just a second ago?
No, that's my husband.
Oh.
Yeah, I have 6 kids total. I have the rest of them in school, right? Katie's in school, but I feel really into it in the house.
Which, you know the address of Katie's right now?
No, but I mean, I can get a hold of her. You want me to have it close to her?
If you have a phone number, I can just try calling her.
I don't have it on me.
Yeah, if you don't mind.
Okay, yeah.
How old's your girl? Yeah, it was a younger chick who put her face up to the glass. I just can't tell because it's like...
She opened the door, there was one that she looked at.
Okay.
Like I said, it's really kind of a trivial matter. Just ask some questions about her story. So I'm not looking to go jam Katie up or show up to her house and arrest her. I just don't want you to get that impression. So knowing that information, trust me,
I understand.
a couple questions for her. Knowing that information, actually know where she's living at or does she stay here?
No, she doesn't stay here.
I want to give you a fair warning. If I find out that information from you is lying, we're starting to go in a whole different direction.
Well, she doesn't live here, so we don't have to worry about that. She moved out.
Graduated from high school. She used to attend there. I know, it's bright, sorry. And do you know her, I can say this way, do you know her phone number off the top of your head?
No, I don't know any of it, except I know my husband's phone number off the top of my head, that's about it.
Do you know? Does he have her number?
No, and he won't, or give any information.
I'm starting to gather. Starting to gather his information.
Me, I just don't know.
Alright. Well, I appreciate
Did you tell her about the case, or? Okay. Are you cool with fighting?
If I need anything else, I'll ask her.
What's your name? Do you have a card?
Officer Line. I actually don't have any cards.
Do you have a card? I know that officers do have a card.
They don't give us cards anymore. So we have to buy it ourselves, believe it or not.
Really?
Yeah.
It's kind of whack.
Okay.
So, alright. Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Hello.
Sorry.
Hey, police department. Got some dogs in there. I was looking to speak to Katie or Catherine. Is she here?
No, she doesn't live here, honey.
Has she ever
She's my
before?
daughter.
Oh.
But she doesn't live here.
Oh, okay. Where's she living at now?
Over that way.
You know which house?
No, I know she was going to come over to get boxes because she's moving back into school.
Oh, okay.
So I'm not really sure.
It's really nothing serious. I think I'm trying to clarify a story about her ex-boyfriend or something like that.
Okay.
So just want to see if she had some info on it.
No. My husband.
Who's it? There's a female in there though?
Yeah, I have 6 kids total. I have Marissa, she lives far away.
Okay.
Katie's in school. But my 3 little ones are in the house.
Okay. Which, you don't know the address where Katie's living at now?
I don't, honey. But I can find out.
If I pulled it up on a map, would you know?
No, but I mean, I can get a hold of her. Do you want me to have her call you guys?
If you have her phone number, I can just try calling her.
I don't have it on me. I don't have my phone.
Are you able to grab it?
A minute, yes. Probably.
Yeah, if you don't mind, thank you. Yeah, but 3 and B, can you log 28? 1 Paul, 667 8 Union. 20. When she opened the door, there was one, but she looked like 13 or something.
I don't have my phone right now.
You don't have your phone?
No.
What happened to your phone?
Well, I work at 4 o'clock in the morning, and I work at 4 a.m. to 5 p.m. So is it at work right now? When I work at Burger King?
Your phone's at work?
Yes. Which is not good, because I'm a store manager. So I need to...
Does anybody else in the house have the phone number?
No. I'm the one that has everything.
Okay. How do you, I was trying to find her in the DMV. How do you spell her first name?
Kathriene, I think. My daughter, I messed up on spelling her name and then I respelled it. So the way I spell it is Kathriene, but I can't tell you that's how.
I haven't heard that too often.
I know.
What do you mean? Did she change it or something?
No, I did. So when I was younger, I changed her birth certificate.
Oh, okay. What did you change it to?
That one, I think. It's either with the E or without an E.
Man.
I know.
That's interesting. Well, like I said, this is really kind of a trivial matter. Just, I had some questions about her ex-boyfriend. So, I'm not looking to go jam Katie up or like show up to her house and arrest her.
No.
I just don't want you to get that impression. So, knowing that information, trust me, I have a couple questions for her. Knowing that information, do you actually know where she's living at, or does she stay here?
No, she doesn't stay here.
Okay. I want to give you a fair warning. If I find out that now you're withholding information from me or you're lying to me, we're starting to go in a whole different direction. Does that make sense?
She doesn't live here, so you don't have to worry about that. She moved out last year when school started.
Okay. And do you know what her address is?
I do not know what her address
is. It on Lone Star?
No.
Okay. Do you know how to get to the house?
No. Because she stays with like different people until school starts. So, because she's in college.
What school does she go to?
Nampa.
Nampa High?
Nampa, sorry.
Did she graduate from Nampa High School? Or did she used to attend there?
She did.
Oh, okay. And I know, it's bright, sorry. And do you know her, I can see it this way, do you know her phone number off the top of your head?
No. I don't know any of anybody. Except I know my husband's phone number off the top of my head. That's about it.
And is he home?
Uh-huh.
Okay, would he have her number?
No. And he won't talk to you.
Okay.
Or give any information out.
I'm starting to gather as much.
Me, I just don't know it. So.
All right. Well, I appreciate your time. No. If I need anything else, I'll ask you. I actually don't have any cards, but.
Do you have a card? I know the officers usually have a card.
They don't have a card.
Not anymore. Really?
Yeah, it's kind of wacky.
Okay.
So, all right. Okay, I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Oh, well then you probably should call her number, not my number, smartass.
Okay. Do you have her phone number?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Do you mind giving that to me so I can give her a call?
Yeah, I don't give out people's phone numbers.
Okay.
What's this regarding?
Well, it's regarding a case I'm investigating, and I need to ask her some questions, and this is an opportunity to talk to me, and if not, then I'm probably just going to move forward with the information I have.
Okay, probably should just go ahead and move forward with the information you have, because she's instructed not to talk to you guys without an attorney.
Okay, so the process moving forward then is I'm going to submit a warrant for her arrest.
You can try. Go for it. I mean, that's the legal process.
Okay. So you guys...
I'm not going to answer your questions.
All
You
right.
answer mine, so why should I answer yours?
I'll answer any questions you have.
Okay, so what's this about?
Well, first of all, she's an adult, and it's a case involving her, so I can't disclose that information to somebody else.
So is it involving a juvenile?
No.
Okay, then you absolutely can disclose this to me. If it's an adult case, and that means it's a matter of public record. That means I could go down and file for the records and get them through public information, correct?
You could, but that would be after the fact, once the case completed, and whether or not they release the records to you is up to the records department, not me.
Well, if it's involving you guys, then obviously it's a matter of public record. So you could tell me you're just choosing not to.
Yeah, anytime I'm dealing with a subject, that's not related to the person I'm investigating, I'm not just going to disclose info. To be fair, sir, I don't know who you are. I don't know your relation to her.
Well, then why would you expect me to disclose information about her, but you won't disclose information about her?
I would expect you to, because it might be in her best interest. If she gives me a statement or a story that, contraindicates the information I have, there might not be any more investigation, and there might not be a warrant for her arrest.
Okay, and so I still don't understand why you won't tell me what it's about.
Because it's not involving you.
You called me, right?
This is the number I have listed for Katie in my system.
Okay, so it is involving me because it's my phone number. It's been my phone number for years.
You're not involved in the case.
Then why are you calling me?
I just explained that to you.
Okay, but you're not willing to tell me anything about it?
No, sir.
Just you want me to give you information?
I would like to speak to Katie.
Typical.
I'd like to speak to Katie. Go for it.
Okay, but why?
Okay, I'll explain this to you one last time, and then moving forward, I'm not going to re-explain it. I'm investigating a case involving her. This is the phone number I have listed for in my system, hence why I'm calling you. You're not involved in the case, so I'm not going to disclose information to you about it. That's it.
Okay, so is it a dead end then? That's what you're saying?
If you'd like to let me get in touch with Katie, we'll move. I can talk to her, or if not, then yes, it'll be a dead end.
Okay, well, I'm not stopping you from doing anything.
Okay, well, so far you're the best lead I have to talk to her, so if you're not willing to give the phone to her, then yes, it's a dead end.
Okay, well, it's a dead end. Get your warrant.
All right, bye. He came to the door and he walked away. Someone's up in the window above you. Someone's back at the door.
And revoke my implied permission. Please get off my property.
Alright, well, we'll do the warrant route then, alright? Okay. Mind going back inside? I'll walk off.
I want you.
Okay. You want to cover me?
Yep. Let me throw this thing out there so we can back up. I don't want you to grab the gun.
That's
what I'm trying to do.
You don't get to make up the rules. You're on my property. You're out of your jurisdiction. Get off my property.
I'm not out of jurisdiction, but okay.
Yeah, you are.
You have a good day.
This is county, not city. You're not. We had this discussion before. There's some people who fuck around. You're out of your jurisdiction.
Nope. We can back with the warrant. Hello, it's police department. How's it going? I see you got that firearm on you, so just don't reach for it and I won't reach for mine, alright?
Okay.
Okay.
What's going on?
Okay. I think I was just speaking to you on the phone.
Okay.
So, I was just trying to get in touch with Katie.
What's your name and phone and badge number?
Officer Line 362.
Okay.
Okay.
What's your business here?
As we were talking on the phone, trying to speak with Katie. Is she home right now?
I've revoked my implied permission. Please get off my property.
Okay. Alright, well, we'll do the warrant route then, alright?
Okay.
Okay. Do you mind going back inside and I'll walk off?
I want you off my property.
Okay. You want to cover me since it's got the 32 right there?
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead and get off my property. You don't get to make up the rules. You're on my property. You're out of your jurisdiction. Get off my property. Yeah, you are. This is county, not city. You're in after city. We've had this discussion before. The sheriff told you to leave me the fuck alone. You're out of your jurisdiction. Nope. Get off my property.
Can I help you?
How's it going? I see you got that firearm on you, so just don't reach for it and I won't reach for mine, alright?
Okay.
Are you Robert?
What's going on?
I think I was just speaking to you on the phone.
Okay.
So, just trying to get in touch with Katie.
What's your name and phone and badge number?
Officer Line 362.
Okay. What's your business here?
As we were talking on the phone, trying to speak with Katie. Is she home
Okay.
right now?
I've revoked my implied permission. Please get off my property.
Alright, well, we'll do the warrant route then, alright?
Okay.
Okay. You mind going back inside and I'll walk
No,
off?
I want you off my property.
Okay. You want to cover me since it's got the 32 right there?
Yeah.
me a favor, just hang out there so we can back up.
Yeah, go ahead and get off my property. You don't get to make up the rules. You're on my property. You're out of your jurisdiction. Get off my property.
I'm not out of jurisdiction. But
yeah, you are.
You have a good day.
This is county, not city. You're Napa City. We've had this discussion before. The sheriff's told you to leave me the fuck alone. You're out of your jurisdiction. So please, just get off my property. If I wanted to shoot you, dude, I would have already done it. You're stupid. You're being dumb. Just go. I'm gonna end up getting you hit, dude. Stupid, aren't you? Okay.
But her parents are refusing to let her talk to us and yada yada. So what I'm gonna do is just try to get some video from Amazon, and hopefully they have that, and then I'll have enough to discharge her without talking to her.
Alright, sounds good.
So I just want to give you that update. I know you mentioned it a little bit when I was out there, but was there anything like that she wrote that kind of led you to believe it was her versus, you know, some random person?
She wrote Jesus loves fags.
Okay.
On my window, and like when she after she texted me, like that, like I'm like her fan or whatever because I accidentally clicked on her page. I let her know that I have a girlfriend, and she's more of a woman than Catherine could ever be, and then I called her a fag.
Okay.
So.
Gotcha.
That's what.
Okay, that makes sense. So, alright, well I'll request video from Amazon, and then I think either way I'll have enough to just file a charge on her and go from there.
Alright, thank you sir, I really appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for your time, man. Good luck.
Thank you.
Alright, bye. Okay. It's through State Farm? Alright. Well, I could probably check it by computer. It should show on there if it's active. So why don't you see if you can find the policy. If not, or if I need any help from you, I'll come back and ask, alright? Yeah, put 362 on secondary. I added one. She's showing a Nampa paperless, looks like. Could you confirm? Copy.
No longer muted.
How do you pronounce your first name? Is it Catherine?
Yeah.
Okay. Here's that for you.
And then I found it.
Perfect. Looks good. Hey, I wanted to ask you about an incident that happened a while back at Amazon. Maybe like an ex-boyfriend of yours. Maybe current boyfriend. I don't know. You don't remember anything about that? Did you have an ex-boyfriend that you had like a falling out with?
Like years ago.
Years ago?
17.
Okay.
20.
Okay. What was his name?
But it was a long time ago. Like high school. I'm in college.
Okay. Well, we had a report a while back, a couple of months ago, of a guy that you were dating, worked at Amazon, and his car got, like, graffitied with some paint pen.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
You remember that?
I haven't seen him in years.
Okay.
Like I said, I was like 17 when I dated him.
Okay. Well, it shows you on camera at the Amazon. So, what do you have to say about that?
I worked there for a while.
Okay. Do you know who I'm talking about now, though?
I worked at Amazon.
Okay. Do you remember the incident that I'm talking about?
I worked at Amazon.
Okay. I'm willing to start over with you because I know you're not being honest. Okay. Starting back from you said you're leaving your house, which is Lone Star in Middleton, and you're driving to 12th and Lake Lowell going this way. That don't make no sense. So do you want to start over a little bit with some more honesty?
That's been my first and fifth. Why are you asking me these questions?
Okay. Well, as it turns out, your ex filed a report for his car getting graffitied, and we did some investigation on it, and it all led back to you, and we filed that case, and there was enough to charge you for it. So I even tried going by your parents' house a while back, talking to your mom and dad. They were very less than helpful. And I think you were even at the house. I think I even talked to you on the phone, and then your dad picked up instead and was like demanding I tell him, and I was like, your daughter's an adult, I can tell her. And I basically told him that if I don't talk to you and get a statement, I'm just going to apply for a warrant for your arrest, and that didn't seem to work. So I ended up just filing for a warrant. So you do have a warrant for your arrest for that charge. And so we're going to have to take care of that tonight.
Seriously?
Yeah. So, can I have you step out of the car, please?
Can I call somebody to get my car?
Yeah, I can work with you on that. Do you mind unlocking it? Oh, it's unlocked. You want to just put your phone and registration up there for me? Do you have anything on you you're not supposed to have? Can you keep your hands where I can see them? Not so worried about a nicotine vape. Okay.
I don't have a bra on.
I'm just making sure because you're concealing your hands by your sweatshirt.
Okay.
Just put your hands by your back, put you in handcuffs, alright?
Okay, can I call somebody, please?
Yeah, I'll get you a phone call. Who do you need to call?
My dad.
Okay.
Can I call him right now?
Let me get you in handcuffs first. Don't feel too tight, do they? Huh? Oh, there we go. Okay, let's go back to my car. I'll bring your phone with you. Is there anything else in the car that you need? What, like your house keys or anything, or?
I just need my car picked up.
Do you have a purse or a wallet in there you need?
No. My ID is in my phone.
It's in the back of your phone? Okay. Let's go back here. So, I do gotta take you to jail. You get booked in. You can probably get out tonight. I don't know if there's a bond associated with it or not. If there is, I think it's probably pretty low. So I wouldn't expect that you'd be in jail for more than like a couple hours.
Oh my God.
Yeah. But real quick, getting booked into jail, they do a full search on you. Do you have anything? Anything on you that's
touch me?
No, but they'll do like a body scan.
Okay, but they're not gonna lift my shirt up and stuff, right?
No. No, they're not gonna like violate you in any way. But what I'm asking is, if you have anything on you that you bring into jail, you get charged with it. If you have anything on you now, you don't get charged with introducing it to the jail, right?
Just my nicotine.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna have a female officer just kind of make sure there's nothing tucked in your waistband we can't see. I'll let her do her thing, and then we'll go from there.
Am I gonna get my phone?
Yeah, I'm just gonna put it right here for now so I don't lose it on top of my car, because I've done that before. I'll let you call your dad. Since you're how old? 20? Since you have the nicotine, you got to be 21 to possess that. That's inside your car. I'm gonna look through your car, make sure there's nothing else nicotine-wise. Is there anything illegal in your car?
No.
Okay.
Sending body 1 down in 10 seconds. Sending body 1 down in 5 seconds. Body 1 down cancelled.
Yeah. Going on the other side? Okay. No, I don't think so, as long as I don't find anything crazy in here. No, not seeing it. I'm not seeing nothing. Do you mind just pulling the keys out? I'll at least secure it for now. And we'll work on getting somebody to pick it up. Sweet.
No longer muted. no longer muted.
She's Australian. Said she's Australian. My body cam voice.
Hey Dad, I'm getting arrested right now. Some graffiti stuff, but what county am I going to?
Canyon County, Caldwell.
I'm gonna be going to the Canyon County jail, and I'm gonna need you to bail me out.
Yeah, but they're still around secondary?
I have no idea. I have not gotten there. They're letting me call you before I go.
Can you advise the bond amount?
I'm in the cop car.
Copy. Your bond is $5,000.
My bond is $5,000.
10% with the bonds then roughly $500.
Graffiti?
Do you want him to come get your car?
Yeah, wait, Dad. I need you to come get my car. I'm off of Middleton and Lake, I think?
No, you're on Midland and Lake Lowell.
Yeah, Midland and Lake Lowell. I was on my way to Cade. Yeah, I just left. Come on. Okay.
Is he coming?
Yeah.
As far as the keys go, what do you want us to do with those? Well, how's he going to get the keys? Does he have a spare key to your car? Okay. Do you want us to leave him in the car? Or he can come by the police bar and pick him up?
Yeah, I can leave him in the car. He'll grab the car.
You want us to leave him in the car? Is he coming like right now?
Yeah, I'll take. They're leaving the keys in the car, comma, it's by the lake.
Okay. I'm just gonna keep this up front. I'll put the hazards on in your car then, so that nobody hopefully hits it. Sure. This should be on the driver's seat. So hazards on, leave the keys in the car, and you're good to leave it there till your dad comes. Okay. If there's any issues with it and he's not here by like a couple hours, then we'll try to get in touch with him. If not, we'll probably just we'll have to get out of the roadway. So, but hopefully he can come get it. Alright, you guys should be good.
Anything else?
No, should be good. Appreciate it.
Caden Line 207, code 6.
207.
Farmland gunfire on 2 Charles King 401 Paul.
031.
Can you stay my way?
Go for it.
Okay, 528, code 6.
5288.
Wilson Road, Aries Drive. 901 Adam Frank, Adam 08, Union G.
035.
5207 Caden Line. Have a good point over there, 036. Caden go for it. Go for fire. 1039.
Hey, Napa PD, one female. Thank you. I'm gonna call your dad and see if he got the car. Huh? See if he has any trouble finding it.
Dad, did you get my car? Thank you. I was back here. I was allowed to call you. I took my phone though. No, you lost Grandma. No, you lost Grandma. I have $2 in my account.
You get it? Okay. Give me 1 second, I'll get you out there.
No longer muted.
How do you pronounce your first name? Here's that for you. Perfect. Looks good. Hey, I wanted to ask you about an incident that happened a while back at Amazon. Maybe like an ex-boyfriend of yours. Maybe current boyfriend? I don't know. You don't remember anything about that? Did you have an ex-boyfriend that you had like a falling out with?
Like years ago.
Years ago?
Yeah.
Okay. What was his name? Well,
It was a long time ago. Like high school. College.
Well, we had a report a while back, a couple months ago, of a guy that you were dating, worked at Amazon, and his car got like graffitied with some paint pen. Yeah. Remember that?
I haven't seen him in years. Like I said, I was like 17.
Well, shows you on camera at the Amazon. So, what do you have to say about that?
I looked at him.
You know what I'm talking about now, then?
I looked at him.
Remember the incident I'm talking about? I'm willing to start over with you because I know you're not being honest. Okay. Starting back when you said you're leaving your house, which is Lone Star in Middleton, and you're driving to Tulsa Lake Lowell down this way, that don't make no sense. You want to start over a little bit? Well, it turns out your ex filed a report for his car getting graffitied, and we did some investigation on it, all led back to you, and we filed that case, and there was enough to charge you for it. So I even tried going by your parents' house a while back, talking to your mom and dad. They were very less than helpful. And I think you were even at the house. I think they even talked to you on the phone. And then your dad picked up instead and was like demanding I tell him. And I was like, your daughter's an adult, I can tell her. And I basically told him that if I don't talk to you and get a statement, I'm just going to apply for a warrant for your arrest. And that didn't seem to work. So I ended up just filing for a warrant. You do have a warrant for your arrest for that charge. So you're going to have to take care of that. So, can I have you step out of the car, please?
Can I call somebody to take my car?
Yeah, I can work with you on that. You mind unlocking it? Yeah, just put your phone registration up there for me. Do you have anything on you you're not supposed to have? Can you keep your hands where I can see them? I'm just making sure because you're concealing your hands while you're sucking. Just put your hands behind your back, put you in handcuffs, alright?
Okay, can I call somebody, please?
Yeah, get you a phone call. Who do you need to call?
My dad.
Okay.
Can I call him right now?
Let me get you in handcuffs first.
Don't feel too tight, do they? Huh? Okay, let's go back to my car. I'll bring your phone with you. Anything else in the car that you need? Like your house keys or anything? Do you have a purse or a wallet and everything? Body.
Yeah, but you want to lift my shirt up and stuff, right?
Yeah, I can't find it. But what I'm asking is, if you have anything on you, just bring it to jail. You'll get charged for it. If you have anything on you now, you don't get charged for Yeah, I'm just going to put it right here for now so I don't lose it on top of my car because I've done that before. You have a nicotine, you have something you want to possess that inside your car. And look through your car, make sure there's nothing else. Nicotine line. You in the car?
What did you check inside your waistband before you got out of the car? Huh? I'm not going to. Just shake it.
Let her in the car. Line, can you unlock it? You can get her in. You want her on the other side?
So, yeah, so if you just put your butt on the seatbelt, or on the seat, then I'll buckle you in.
no longer muted.
Yeah, mine does that too. Is your remote not working? How long I made it?
She's Australian. Huh? She's Australian. My body cam works.
Pretty sick. I had mine in Spanish for a while, then I couldn't tell what it was saying, so I switched it back. I didn't know if it was muted or not.
I would stop recording and record it over and over and over. I don't know.
This is pretty cool.
The bond is 5,000. 10% with the bond, we're roughly 500.
Oh. Yeah. Park it in here. Isn't this a church? They won't tow it. Right? Oh, pet store. Oh, shit. Oh, more over there. Oh, there's the... Oh, there's a whole bunch right there. What the hell? Oh, gross. Yeah. It's cold.
As far as the keys go, what do you want to do with those? How do you want to do the express key to your car? You want to leave them in the car? Or you can come by the police car and pick them up? You want to leave them in the car? Is he coming like right now?
We're leaving the keys in the car, comma, by the lake.
I'm gonna put the hazards on it.
Let me do that. Sure. Did you put the keys up here somewhere?
It should go right there. The hazards on, leave the keys in the car, and just leave it there, take action. If you're gonna make these with it, it's not you,
Anything else? Alright.
Perfect. Looks good. Hey, I wanted to ask you about an incident a while back. There's like an ex-boyfriend here. Maybe current boyfriend? I don't know. Remember anything about that? Do you have an ex-boyfriend you ever fallen out with? Years ago? What was it doing? Well, okay. Well, we had a report a while back, a couple months ago, of a guy that you were dating, worked at Amazon, and his car got like graffitied with the paint pen. Yeah. Remember that? Well,
shows you on camera at the Amazon. So, what do you have to say about that? You know what I'm talking about now, though? Remember the incident that I'm talking about? I'm willing to start over with you because I know you're not being honest. Okay. Starting back when you said you're leaving your house, which is Lone Star Middleton, and you're driving to 12th and Lake Hole going this way. That don't make no sense. If you want to start over a little bit, more honesty. Well, as it turns out, your ex filed a report for his car getting graffiti, and he did some investigation on it. All led back to you, and we filed that case, and there was enough to charge you for it. So I even tried going by your parents' house a while back, talking to your mom and dad. They were very less than helpful, and I think you were even at the house. I think they even talked to you on the phone, and then your dad picked up instead and was like, demanding I tell him, and I was like, your daughter's an adult, I can tell her. And I basically told him that if I don't talk to you and get a statement, I'm just going to apply for a warrant for your arrest, and that didn't seem to work. So I ended up just filing for a warrant. So you do have a warrant for your arrest for that charge. So we're going to have to take care of that tonight. Can I have you step out of the car, please? Yeah, I can work with you on that. You're not unlocking it. Do you have anything on you you're not supposed to have? I'm just making sure because you're concealing your hands way so. Just put your hands on your back, put your handcuffs, alright?
Okay, can I call somebody, please?
Yeah, get your phone call. Who do you need to call?
My dad.
Okay. Let me get you in handcuffs first. Don't feel too tight, do they? Huh? Let's go back to my car. I'll bring your phone with you. Is there anything else in the car that you need? You want like your house keys or anything? Or do you have a purse or a wallet in there?
My ID is in your phone.
In the back of your phone? Okay. Let's go back here. So, we got to take you to jail, you get booked in, and you probably get out tonight. I don't know if there's a bond associated with it or not. If there is, I think it's probably pretty low. So I wouldn't expect that you'd be in jail for more than like a couple hours. But real quick, getting booked into jail, they do a full search on you. Do you have anything, anything on you that's...
touch me?
No, but they'll do like a body scan.
Okay, but they're not going to lift my shirt up and stuff, right?
No. Well, that's like violate you anyway. But what I'm asking is if you have anything on you that you bring into jail, you get charged with it. If you have anything on you now, you don't get charged with introducing it to the jail, right? Okay. Alright. I'm going to have a female officer just kind of make sure there's nothing tucked in your waistband we can't see. I'll let her do her thing. And then we'll go from there.
Am I going to get my phone?
Yeah, I'm just going to put it right here for now so I don't lose it on top of my car because I've done that before. I'll let you call your dad. Since you're how old, 20? Since you have the nicotine, you got to be 21 to possess that.
What's inside your car? I'm gonna look through your car, make sure there's nothing else nicotine-wise. Is there anything illegal in your car?
No.
Okay, so go ahead and turn and face the car. Do you have anything on you that's going to poke me, stick me, or hurt me? What did you tuck inside your waistband before you got out of the car? Your nicotine? Is it still in the back of your shorts?
No, he threw it back in the car.
He did? Okay. Just going to lift your sweatshirt out just a little, okay?
You don't have a problem.
Huh?
Just don't lift it too high.
I'm not going to. Just going to shake it.
Line, can you unlock it? You want it on the other side?
So, yeah, so if you just put your butt on the seat belt, or on the seat, then I'll buckle you in. Say that again. That's going to be up to officer line. Potentially here shortly, potentially when you get to the jail.
Here we are. Didn't have to go this way, but...
Yeah, mine's that too.
Charles, Adam Charles, Tom, and Paul.
I do want to ask some more questions, but we'll do it now. It's a little bit warmer. Okay. Okay, let me just read this to you. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say may be used against you in the court of law. You have the right to talk with a lawyer and have them present while you're being questioned. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed to represent you before questioning. Do you understand each of these rights to explain to you? Okay. I got your phone. Let me get the seatbelt fixed real quick. Alright, you can hop out. I'm going to go down towards that door. Have you ever been arrested before? Okay. So go ahead, stand to the left. I'll open up the door. Go ahead, there's a chair. You can have a seat if you'd like. A little warmer here. So medical will come in. They'll just ask you some general medical questions. And then you'll get booked in there. And then right away you can make a phone call if you want to use a bondsman. They'll take your shoes, and they might let you leave your sweatshirt on if you're going to bond out. So the bond's $5,000, so you can either pay that in full or have somebody pay it for you, or you can use a bondsman, and they usually charge 10%, so it'd be like $500, and then you would get out. So if you plan on bonding out, they might let you keep the sweatshirt. If not, then they'll probably just take it and give you a shirt. Hello.
What's your last name? Jones? First name? Kathleen. Thanks a lot. Okay, date of birth? Are you allergic to anything that you're aware of? Did you get any COVID vaccines? You're in the emergency room at all last 24 hours. Any surgeries in the last 30 days? Any medical issues? Yeah. Any thoughts of harming yourself or anyone else? Any chance of pregnancy? Did you ingest any baggies of drugs or foreign objects before coming here? No. Do you use illegal drugs? No. Do you drink alcohol every day? No. Do you have any large open wounds? I'm on toothless pulse, so it still is bleeding because I had food poisoning, so I threw up bleeding. Okay. Were you involved in any motor vehicle accidents today? No. Thank you.
I don't know what your dad told you on the phone. I've talked to your dad before regarding all this, and he was very adamant that you weren't going to say anything, and he was basically speaking for you, and he wanted me to tell him what was going on. I said, out of respect to you, you're an adult, so I'm not going to disclose information about you to him, even though it's your dad, right? That'd be up to you. So I told him, with all due respect, sir, I'm not going to tell you the details regarding it, right? But I wanted to talk to you, your side of what happened, which I don't know if you remember cops coming to your house. I think you were home. That's fine. We came to your house. I think your mom lied to us, said you weren't home. I called, I think, your phone number. You picked up, and then your dad took the phone and said you weren't home. And all that happened was he never let me talk to you. And I said, at best, she gives me a statement that, doesn't give me enough to charge her. At worst, I just give her a ticket. But if I can't talk to her and can't get a hold of you, then I have no other choice but to write a warrant, and then you get to go to jail. I said, that's a silly thing to go to jail over, but that's pretty much the hand your dad dealt you, the way I see it, because I was never able to talk to you. So the point of all this is, sometimes, maybe it's not the best idea to give a statement or talk to the police. Totally get that. Other times it's worth at least telling your side of the story, because let me tell you this. I don't know what's your criminal history, but you're telling me you've never been arrested. You're 20 years old. The charge you're facing is you and an ex-boyfriend get in some dispute and you put paint pen on his car. In reality, big deal. That's not the crime of the century, right? That's called being a young teenager, having a relationship. So there's kind of two ways it goes from here. One is Miss Jones denying no ownership, nothing ever happened, wasn't me, and then we look at the video and photographs and the warrant I wrote, and it shows, no, we have enough evidence to say this happens, you just have no remorse for it and you don't want to talk about it. Or B is Miss Jones like, yeah, I messed up, this is what I did, I'm sorry, and they're like, okay, slap on the wrist, you already went to jail for a night, case closed. I can tell you from experience, oftentimes people that take no ownership and are just like, I don't want to talk, and they go sit in court, and the judge looks at you and they're like, you have no remorse or ownership for this silly decision? It doesn't bode as well for people that are like, yeah, I put paint pen on this dude's car, and guess what? It all washed off. So I'm not coercing you to talk, but you have to consider sometimes a little bit of remorse and ownership goes a lot better than denial. We're not here by accident. We're not here because we just made something up, right? We're here because there's enough to show that, yeah, I can arrest you and bring you to jail for this. So, with all that said, do you want to talk about... Okay, your First Amendment doesn't matter. Okay, your Fifth Amendment is, yeah, your right to remain silent. And you can do that. Is that your dad telling you that, or is that you? Because I don't think your dad is going to be helping you in this situation, because to be honest, he played a pretty big part in landing you here. Not a personal vendetta, but he wouldn't let me talk to you. I showed up to your house and he had a gun on his hip and told us to get out of his property. Okay, I'll leave. I'm not going to get in a freaking gunfight over you painting someone's car. But you might want to consider branching away from what he's telling you to do. Do you have any remorse for the silly thing of painting his car? Are you saying you want an attorney, or are you saying that that's your right? Because yes, that is your right. Okay. That's what you have to say to stop questioning. You can say you want to remain silent, I can still talk to you. You have to say you want an attorney, and then I can't question you anymore about the offense. Yeah, I don't know what's up. Do you actually live somewhere else, or do you live at home? Because your mom was telling me you live somewhere else, and you're telling me you live there. I don't know what your parents are trying to instill in you, but I don't think it's helping your case, to be honest. Personally, I think this is a pretty silly thing to get arrested for at midnight and go to jail on a $5,000 bond. If I would have talked to you that day and you would have told me, oops, yeah, I did it, I would have given you a ticket. But you can fight the fight the way you see fit. Thanks, sir. You bet. Okay, I gotta read you the warrant, so just hang tight. This is the interest of you pronounce it Catherine? Catherine, okay. Catherine Jones, date of birth 9/4/2004. This is to any policeman or peace officer in the state of Idaho. A complaint under oath having been laid before me, the undersigned magistrate by Dalton Kelly of the Canyon County Prosecuting Attorney's Office, showing by substantial evidence that there is probable cause to believe that the crimes of injury by graffiti, a misdemeanor in violation of Idaho Code Section 18-7036, has been committed in the County of Canyon, State of Idaho, and that Catherine Jones has committed the said crimes. You are therefore commanded forthwith to arrest the above-named defendant and bring said person before the nearest available magistrate. This warrant may be served at any time during the hours of daytime or nighttime. After the court having considered the facts pertaining to the said person and crime, the bail is fixed by endorsement in the amount of $5,000. Pretrial release program, if checked, defendant is subject to the terms and conditions below. However, that is not checked. It was dated the 6th of September 2024. It's signed by a magistrate, and it's being served on today's date, December 6th, at approximately 0100 hours. That's all I got for you. In just a few minutes, they'll get you processed.
Hello. You were the police officer in charge of my case when my ex rode on my car in the Amazon parking lot. I don't know if you remember, but that writing doesn't rub off. It's off. Like, I washed my car and it's been like a week or so. It's still on my car. So I wanted to let you know.